Okay, so we're testing out the tie dye kit by Jaquard. This came from our father-in-law from ASPCA. So far, the instructions said, excuse me, there's toys in here and instructions, but the instructions said that we are going to do a fold. So this is supposed to be a sunburst fold. This one is going to be for my mom. My kid picked out all the designs. And then for daddy, he's gonna have this one, or at least some type of stripy thing. We're trying to do this one for the baby so that I can draw some, so I can draw fishies on it. And then in the box, I've already opened it. I got our rubber bands and some gloves, and it also came with squirt bottles of color, which it's just powder in there. And then you add some water. Let me show you. So originally I thought these came with no color because they were from ASPCA, and I says, oh, these used to be colored, but they used up all the colors. Excuse me, we're in our bathroom. But so this comes, I don't know if you can tell, but inside, can you hear that? There's a powder in the bottle. Maybe you can see it with a different color. It comes with red, yellow. See the yellow powder there? You can see. And I guess you just add water and red in the kit. And then it also comes with a bottle, and it tells you how to mix your purple and your orange and where to fill the bottle with how much purple and orange. I'm sorry, it tells you where to fill how much blue and how much red. Elliot, shush, please. So then in the kit, it also comes with rubber bands and some gloves, and of course the instructions. So we got one done, and then we're going to try and do this one, and then I'm going to try a different version of this or some sort of. So we're gonna try it out and come along with us. So my kid asked for a swirly design. So I'm trying to, it says in the instructions, let's see, the instruction got a little wet, but it says in the instructions to lay the fabric flat and select the center point and twist clockwise to make a tight bundle with rubber bands, making 6 or more shaped wedges. How many shaped wedges do you want?
1.
You have to pick six or more.
More.
Okay, how many?
10.
He wants 10 wedges. Okay, so the instructions say to do that. So we're going to try and do this and see what we come up with. I've never been very good at this, so wish me luck. We're going to try and make this pie shape. Elliot, do you want your pie shape in the middle or on the side? I mean your swirly. You want your swirly in the middle?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna try and find the middle of this shirt, which is going to be somewhere right here. No. And supposedly you just twist like this. And supposedly it just twists into this thing. But then I don't know what you do with the excess fabric. It doesn't say, it just says lay fabric flat, select the center point and twist clockwise to make a tight bundle. So I think I'm supposed to just wrap this around the bundle, maybe? Am I supposed to just wrap this around? Let's try that again. They said to wet the shirts, so I did wet the shirts, which is why I'm doing it in the bathtub. So, you want it in the middle or on the side? Okay, so we're gonna sort of try and find the middle of this shirt. This is a white shirt I just bought at Target in a pack. Now, these are kids' shirts because this is for my kids. So we're just gonna try and find wherever the middle of the shirt is and twist. I'm trying to follow the instructions. Now I think we just keep twisting. Now twist around, and I'm just going to assume that it's going clockwise. So a clock goes this way. This is just like the dip dye marbling thing. It's much more complicated than it looks. It's for kids, but they said go clockwise. So I'm going clockwise. Or see how it goes. Clockwise. So I get this far, and then what do? I just clockwise the rest of this shirt into a bundle. Is that how it looks? Let's see. Is that's not how the picture looks. No. All right, let me keep messing with this so you guys don't get bored, and I'll get back to you on how it looks. So this is what I've got so far after messing with it. I'm unsure as to whether or not if I stick the rubber bands on, it'll look like that. But we'll see what we get. I'm going to try one more time to see if I can get a little bit of a neater design, and then we'll see what we come out with. But tie-dye never comes out perfect. I've always known that. And there's no such thing as perfect. I've learned that. So my mind has to be wrapped around that. And hey, it's fun for the kids. So before I get too frustrated, let me get some rubber bands on here. So I read the instructions again, and it says to, let's see if you can see this. It says make a tight bundle. Can you see that? It says make a tight bundle. So I realized I wasn't making it tight enough, so I hope that I made that tighter. So let's get some rubber bands on here and see what we end up with. I've been folding and rolling this thing for a long time, and I'm just so done. So let's get on with the next step. All right, my kid better be happy with this because that looks pretty swirly to me. So let's try it and see what happens. Okay, so here's how this fold turned out. Here's the front of the shirt. I tried to make it even. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 sides. And here's how the back looks. The back looks better than the front, so I'm hoping it turns out okay. So we'll see. We're gonna move on to the next one, which is going to be Daddy's shirt, which he wants a stripe. So I looked up some YouTube videos of other people, and the way they did it was they stretched out the shirt, which I'll do it off camera just because I need 2 hands to get the wrinkles out. But they did it like this, and then they folded the shirt diagonally, and then they did an accordion fold like this to scrunch up the shirt, of course in a more neater fashion, and then they rubber band it. So we're gonna go ahead and try that, and I'll show you the results. So here's how our designs turned out so far. This is the one that I did with the stripes, and I realized that I had to switch shirts because it was really hard to fold when wet. So it says that folding it wet is easier, but for this particular design it was easier to do it dry. So this is the one that's going to be the single color sunburst. Here's the one that we did for the kiddo who is doing that design. And then for mine, excuse, there's a dog in the way, but for mine I'm doing this. So I'm just bunching up a piece, and I'm putting a rubber band, 2 rubber bands on it, and I'm gonna do it all like this to make a sort of 2-toned polka dot effect. So then we also did one more kid shirt we do, which is the bald effect. I was going to turn that into an ocean. I have fabric paints and pens that I can use to draw fishies on it if I do it all blue. So this is how that one looks. And so let me finish with this shirt, and then we'll get to soaking it in soda ash for 20 minutes and start dyeing. Okay, so here's the polka dot one, how it turned out. I don't know if you can see, but I had to tie some of these rubber bands, and I've got a ton of these little pieces of rubber bands. These are not very quality rubber bands, and I understand this is a kit for kids, and it worked great for this tiny shirt. But if you're doing an adult shirt, this is actually a boy's shirt, extra large size. This is a men's shirt. I don't recommend using it for that because they do end up breaking into those little pieces. And then this is, I guess it just really depends on what design you use. But I definitely recommend getting some more rubber bands because I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 shirts, and I'm completely out of rubber bands minus the couple that broke. So I definitely recommend ordering extra rubber bands and better rubber bands that are much thicker and you can wrap around multiple times, bigger ones too, so that you can wrap them around multiple times like I said. So let me fix this a little bit. Excuse me. So I guess we're gonna soak this in soda ash. The instructions said a gallon of water for the whole packet, but I'm wondering if I can get away with half. So we're gonna try it and see what happens. I got my bed wet, but don't worry, it's desert and it'll dry fast. So let's get these in soda ash so we can start painting. I spent like, let's see what time it is now. It's currently 8:18. So I spent 3 hours folding, but I guess it's one of those things, practice makes perfect. So I'm trying, you guys. So yeah, let's get these in the soda ash so you can start seeing our designs. 20 minutes in the soda ash. See you later. Okay, so I decided, since we have all of these shirts, and we're gonna do all of this soda ash. I can always just buy more. So we're gonna cut open this soda ash and pour it into this very hot water, as hot as I could get it, and then we're going to put our shirts in and let them soak for 20 minutes. This is the soda ash dye fixer, and they told us don't wash that out because I guess this is what sets the dye, so it won't come out. But I did read online that you can wash your shirts first time with soap and water and vinegar, and then that way the vinegar helps set the dye. So we're going to pour that in, and we're going to let our shirt soak, and then we can dye. Almost there. I'm so frustrated. I don't want to do this anymore, but we're going to make our kids happy. Okay, stop talking. Let's open this. And you want to pour it in? Okay. Warning to all of you parents or anybody who's doing this. This spilled on my counter a little bit, and my kid thought it was salt, and he tried to eat it. So please do not eat, and please safety first, because my 4-year-old is smart, and he still tried to eat this. And I had to tell him twice because he thought it was salt. So be careful. This is not food. And all of it. All of it. Pour it all in. There, pour it in.
Don't you have to open it?
It is open. Pour it in. Okay, it's a little clumpy, so I think we're going to need something to mix it. So, hold on. Let's get the rest of this out of here. Okay, now, is it supposed to fizz or something? I don't even see it in. I see it fizzing a little bit, but,
can we mix it now?
I guess we need to just mix it and see what happens. Hold on.
Okay.
Let's mix it. Hold on.
What? Yes, use color to put it in.
Okay, well, we're not going to put colors in the water. We're just going to soak the shirt. So the water's super hot, and I'm trying to see if it's mixing up. It's like a big old hot. It's a big old clump. So I don't know what I'm supposed to do, if that's going to dissolve, or if this kit is just old because it's from ASPCA. I don't know. So let me get this stir stick. And I'm going to keep mixing the water. It looks like it's sort of dissolving because you can see the soapy bits, but I don't know if it's doing anything. So I'm going to just keep mixing, and it's like rock hard. Okay, it's dissolving. I think I got to help it a little bit because it's super clumpy. Guys, wish me luck, okay? I'm still mixing. I think hot. Don't try this at home. Hot. Okay, that's not gonna work. Hot, I need cold water. Okay. I know that's supposed to be hot water in there, but I need it. It feels like fabric softener. So I don't, that's what set the dye. Not yet. We gotta wait till all that dissolves. I'll come back and see if it's dissolved once the water's a little bit cooler. But it says use warm water. So should I just mix? I feel the bits in there. Like, I feel it. I feel the chunks. Hot. Why do I keep doing this? Hot. The things you do for your kids. Okay, so it's slightly dissolving, but I don't know why it's so clumpy. So I'm going to let this dissolve and then wash my hands and stick those in here. And we'll let them soak for 20 minutes, and we'll be back in 20 minutes. Bye. I don't know why it clumped up, so let's hope that this works. You guys are going to experience the experiment with me. Okay, put your shirt in. Be very careful.
Yes.
Don't stand up here. Stand on the step stool. Okay, my kid's going to put them in. He's only 4. Go ahead. Okay, 1, 2. That one got a little dye. My baby, the 17-month-old, touched it. So we're going to just make something out of it because I didn't want to waste a shirt. 4. And 1 more. Daddy's shirt. 5. Now that I've got it all in my sink, I'm very glad that I used all of it. That's a gallon of water. So, yeah, let's let that soak for 20 minutes, and we'll be back in 20 minutes. Okay, you guys, here's our shirts. They're mostly dry, but I'm going to wet them a little bit. The reason why I wanted them to be dry is because it says I read online that when you let the soda ash dry on your shirts, that you will get a more vibrant, intense color. So I got these bottles. It says to fill the line with warm water and shake. The only thing I wasn't happy with is that I tested it out on my hand. This is a pink fuchsia. I don't know where it says on the bottle, but I know this will wash off on my hand with nail polish remover, but somewhere it said fuchsia. Let me see if I can find it. Anyways, this is supposedly fuchsia, so I didn't have a bright red, so I took this bright red acrylic paint, and I read online you can do acrylic paint and water if you don't make it so vibrant, and then the shirt won't be stiff, so that once it dries, it will be a tie-dye. So we're going to try red in here. So let's mix up our colors and start dyeing. And the reason I know that this is not real red is because I got my baby spilled a little bit of dye right here and right here, and it turned the shirt pink. So I'm hoping that'll wash out once I start dyeing. So let's get to the dyeing. And yeah, so we just mix these with water. Same with the acrylics. You mix the acrylics with warm water. I think they said 1 part paint and 3 parts water. So we're gonna try it, and yeah, let's get dyeing because my kid is super excited. Red, so I just made double reds, so I don't think I'm going to be needing that red, but these colors mix up very easily with warm water. And the kit does come with gloves, but the gloves are too big, but I'm small, so they'd be too big for my kid, so it'd be too hard to work with. So we're just going to not worry about the dye on our hands, and we'll get nail polish remover because the acetone, even though it's bad for your skin, it washes off the tie-dye. Also, I did read online that you can use baking soda and make it into a paste and use it as an exfoliant, and it will also take that off your hands. But we're just going to take a long bath and see what that does. So yeah, let me get all these colors mixed and we'll start dyeing. Yes, we're going to paint. So I figured the easiest way to do it is in the bathtub. So I put down a trash bag in the bathtub because I figure if it gets on the tub, I can just go ahead and scrub it and bleach it when we're done. So he's not wearing any clothes, just some underwear. So that way, if he gets anything on him, we can just go ahead and scrub him off in the tub. So first we're going to do this one because it's all going to be a single red color. So we're going to see how easy it is to paint a single color before we get into this, which is going to be multiples. So, let's try. This one is going to be red.
Yeah, it's Yoda's.
Yes. So let's first red on. I know this is going to be messy. Oh, I'm already like
It's
dripping.
Yoda's.
So
It's
let me
Yoda's.
close this so I can just squirt the red on. But you can see the hole is. Let me see if I can zoom. Does it show you?
Yeah, it's Yoda's.
You see the hole is very small, so hopefully the paint will come out very fast, but it is very liquidy. So I'm going to close this video so that we can go ahead and try this all red, and we'll show you what the results look like, because I have to help the 4-year-old who's going to do most of it. So I know it's going to be a mess, but anyways, so before I get anything on my pants, I need to take them off so there's no paint on them. So give me a minute and we'll be right back.
No.
Okay, so this looks like a bloody mess, but this is a boy's size shirt, extra large size boys. So we used to color this whole shirt red, half the bottle of dye. So that's how much it takes, just so you know. And it is pretty messy because the 4-year-old did help, but we tried not to use too much paint, but I did want a good color payoff. So I'm going to stick this one in a plastic bag, and then I'm going to let it dry out in the sun, and once it's mostly dry, I'll take it out of the plastic bag. So there is the red one. Now we're going to be daring and try multiple colors, but I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this paper off so we don't mix the colors, this trash bag, and then I'm going to rinse everything off, and then we're going to try the next color.
Yellow.
So he wanted his just yellow. You can see it's a little bit messy, but the yellow worked out really good, and we only used 1/4 of a bottle for a size small boy shirt. So he wanted his to be all yellow like a flower. So he's going to have a sunflower for his, and we're going to do the next one. So I'm going to bag this up, rinse it off, and do the next one. But this one's how this one came out. Not so much yellow on my hands this time. This design seems to be much cleaner on the hands, definitely. So if you're looking for a less messy design, this one is definitely it. So let's get on to the next color. So this is a men's size large shirt, and I don't know if you can see that, but the rubber band snap. So I definitely recommend if you're doing adult shirts, or at least this men's size large, definitely get some better and larger rubber bands. So we're going to try and do this striped design in multiple colors and see how that works out. So wish us luck. Okay, so here's how the men's large shirt is coming out. Some of these places might be purple because it's a good teaching thing, I think, to teach kids about the color wheel and how red and blue make purple, and we have this big old mess. So definitely glad we did it on a paper in the bathtub. But that's this side. I'm still trying to see if we can get some more color payoff in some of these spots. Just to flip it over, show you the other side. This is both sides of the shirt. I think this is the back. Not 100% sure anymore. But here's how the blue is on my hands. I'll let you know how it washes out. But once it's dried on your hand, it doesn't get anywhere, which is the nice part. I was looking at my hand on the back. Once this is dry, I can touch things and it's like a stain, so it won't go anywhere. So here's this shirt. Yeah, that's gonna be a mess. But oh, I'm so nervous how this is gonna come out. Hope he likes it, but we're gonna continue with the rest of them, finish them off, and hopefully they look good. Crossing my fingers. Ooh, I don't know. This is gonna be a mess. See, I got some blue right here where it shouldn't have, but working with kids, nothing's perfect. So let's just get rid of this mess before I decide I don't like it. See you guys later. So this shirt is really not going to come out because what happened was where these rubber bands are, it's supposed to be white, but it didn't turn out right here because this rubber band snapped. So let's hope it at least looks somewhat good. Now I know this one is going to be horrible. Now, don't use the rubber bands in the kit for a men's large shirt. We obviously found that out the hard way. So this is the last shirt, and I'm really worried how it's going to come out because it looks like it would be difficult to get a different color in here than it is on the dots. And then another rubber band snapped off, so I just used an old stretched out hair tie to do that. So I'm going to try mixing some colors because I want to use purple. I can't decide whether or not I want to use green or purple as the background, but I know I wanted to do the polka dots in rainbow. So wish me luck. You'll know what I do in a minute because you're watching this video, so hold tight, keep watching. You'll see my disaster in a minute. So I just wanted to mention it comes with this mixing bottle. I know I mentioned it when I first started this video, but in the mixing bottle it tells you where to fill the lines of each color so that you can get which color you want, how much blue, how much green, and they're all numbered. See, this is number 1, and you find the matching number 1, and then there's a number 2, and you find the matching number 2, and it tells you what color it makes. So that makes it easy for kids, or if you're learning the color wheel. So it's also a good teaching thing for the homeschool because you can learn your colors, preschool, kindergarten, first grade, whatever. So second grade art, I think anybody will think this is fun. But yeah, so let me mix some green and other colors and we'll see what we come up with. See you later once the shirts are done. Yes, it looks like death in the bathtub, but I ended up redoing this men's size large shirt because the ties didn't hold before, and I tied it with paracord this time. So this time though I did it with acrylic paints. So I mixed acrylic paints with water, and I read online that if you do too much acrylic paint it'll be too stiff and flake off eventually, but if you don't do enough acrylic paint then it'll be pastel and wash out. So I don't, this blue seems like it's a really good color payout, so I'm hoping it's not too thick. Blue And then the red looks a little bit pastel, so I'm hoping it doesn't turn out like pink. But they said that you're supposed to let it sun dry, and then you set the color in the dryer on hot. So I'm going to go ahead and try that. Hopefully the shirt doesn't shrink too much and it'll go ahead and fit. So now I'm just going to fast forward, and you won't see anything until the shirts are dry and ready to be untied. And I'm not going to untie them until they are 100% dry, and I'm going to dry them out in the sun so that way it helps heat set them. See, I did this one, which is the polka dots, which I'm not very happy with, but we'll see how it turns out. I can always re-dye it if I need to, or do something with the fabric paints that I have. And then I have all of these. Oh, my kid spilled some. I'm gonna have to clean that up. But these are all of my the different bags of the painting that we did on the shirts. So I'm going to leave them in the bags until they're dry enough to take them out, so that way I don't get the colors spread everywhere, and that way, you know, well, you'll see. Be back in a minute. Okay, so the shirts are dry and I'm just untying them, which I can't do on video because I need 2 hands to do that. But what's really weird is I've got this shirt, I've got that shirt, I've got the shirt I did for myself, and the red one and the yellow one. However, I don't know if you guys remember, but I did a little blue ball. It was supposed to be for Ed, my youngest, but for whatever reason it's missing. So I checked my security camera, nothing happened. So I think what happened is it was right here and it was too close to the edge and it fell off, and then somebody probably threw it away. So I'm going to have to remake that one. And my kid, Elliot, doesn't understand that that one's gone. So hopefully I can find a way to dry it faster, maybe with a blow dryer or something. I don't know if I have enough glue left, but wish me luck because I don't have a shirt for him at the moment. Yeah, so I'm gonna get these untied and I'm gonna hang them on hangers, and then I'm probably going to either hang them right here to let them dry out in the sun, or on that tree and hopefully get them in the sun to set the color in a little bit more. And then I'll wash them out at the end of the day and you guys can see what they look like. So stay tuned. And for the mystery of the missing shirt, which I don't think it's a mystery at this point, I'm just gonna remake it. So let's see what happens. Yeah, and I'll show you the designs on the hangers in just a second. So here's all the shirts in the sun. 1, 2, this one's a little wrinkly, but once I wash it in fabric softener, it should be good. 3, there's the kid's shirt, and here's the red one. So I'm gonna let these dry out. They're dry, but I'm gonna let them warm up because the sun and the warmth and the heat color sets the color. I guess I could use a blow dryer, but it's fine if these just sit out here because it's gonna be 107 today. So we'll be back when these are all done to wash them out and see what the color payoff is and how much color comes out. I wonder how long this one is going to take to dry. I'm not sure. It's pretty damp, super wet still, and you can see, I don't know if you could tell, but there is some color still coming off because it hasn't fully set and dried in there. So that's the one we did with the tie-dye, and so be careful not to make it too extremely wet. Oh, and so the verdict of what happened to the little ball that I did, the blue one, apparently it fell down, and one of my neighbors said that she saw it but she didn't pick it up. So I guess when the maintenance came and cleaned up, they must have thrown it away. But she said she thought about picking it up and didn't, which is weird because she knew these were my shirts, but whatever. I'm gonna go remake that one and hopefully it dries by today. So I doubt it, but we'll see. So see you guys in a bit. So I'm re-dyeing this one, and I decided to try out the gloves, and I am a size small women's glove, and this does fit. It's a little loose with the fingers, but for the most part it does fit. So if this was for a kid, which I'm not sure if this kit's for a kid or an adult, it doesn't say. Tie Dye Kit by Jaquard, but these wouldn't fit a kid. So if you're gonna do it with a kid, just let them get it on their hands, or get some kid gloves. Yeah, so there's the gloves. We're gonna try it out just to re-dye this in the blue. So I'm gonna do that, just letting you know how the gloves fit. I think it's definitely too hot in summer to wear these gloves, and I don't like it, but we're gonna do it. And I'm gonna dye this one, and we'll be back. Okay, so this blue one is dry, and the original shirt that we did, the rubber bands broke, remember, in the video, and this is done with the tie-dye. It's a men's large instead of the acrylic paint, and this round ball is done. So let's see how they look. Ooh, this one's really hard. This one, well, it feels like a rock, but we'll see what it looks like when it's all done. I'm gonna unwrap them now. Okay, so this one is the boys extra small shirt. It came out like this, all blue with patches of dark. Not what I was expecting, but I wonder how much of this is going to wash out and how faded it's going to look. I thought there was going to be streaks of white, which was what I was hoping for, and I don't know why it turned out like this, but I'm not mad at it. It just looks like a blue shirt. So we'll see. Oh my goodness, you guys. So I thought this was going to be the mistake one, which is why I made another shirt, because the rubber bands had broke in the process of me tie-dyeing it. But I guess it didn't make a difference once it dried. But look, I don't know if you can tell, it's very glary outside. But I will go ahead and post pictures at the end. But this, oh my goodness, you guys, it's beautiful. This one, I think, is the best one we've done so far. I'll go ahead and post pictures at the end, so stay tuned for the finished shirts. But this one is the front, and here's the back. Oh my, it's a little wrinkled, and the back got a little bit trashed up, but it's beautiful. So you guys, this tie-dye with the zigzag, I definitely recommend doing. Look how beautiful that came out. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish off the shirts, and we'll see you guys in a minute. So this is not part of the instructions, but I did rinse the shirt. Not much color came out, which is great because I let it sit outside in the heat for many days, and the longer it sits on the shirt before you rinse it out, the less that will come out because it has absorbed into the shirt more, so it's been sitting out in the sun. This is just 1 cup of water, 1 cup of vinegar, and a half a cup of salt, and I'm letting it sit in here for 15 minutes. And then I'm going to flip it over and do another 15 minutes, so half hour total, and then I'm going to put it in the wash. This is not part of the instructions, but it did say to soak the shirts, when I read online, to soak the shirts in vinegar and then put a little bit of vinegar and salt in the rinse and wash cycle, so that way it helps set the color so the color won't fade off. So anyways, here's this one. I'm a little bit disappointed. I don't know if you can tell, but it's not as sunbursty as I was expecting. You can still see some of the lines. I don't know if it shows up on camera, but there's some darker lines there, but I wish that it was a little bit more sunbursty. But hey, this is our first time and my kid will still enjoy it. So I'm gonna let all of this shirt soak. And I was going to show you how much color came out, but there was very little color that came out in the yellow. So if there is more or less color or a big difference with the acrylic paints, then I'll go ahead and let you know. But for now, I'm going to do all the shirts, and then I'm going to put them in the washing machine, then the hot dryer, and I'll show you what our finished product is. For whatever reason, a lot of the green is washing out. So I wonder when it's done how pastel it's going to be. I don't know if you can see that, but a lot of green. It doesn't look like a lot of the other colors, maybe a little yellow, but none of the other colors seem to be rinsing out. It's just that this green is very, I don't know if it's not holding. It looks like it's holding because it's sticking on the shirt pretty good, but for whatever reason, it's just washing out a lot of green. So I'm hoping by the time it gets out of the washing machine that we still have a good color payoff instead of a very pastel one. But we'll see. I don't know why a lot of the green was washing out because very, very little yellow washed out, but that might have been just because it was so pastel. But it didn't really do so much of a design on the yellow one. This one does still have a design, as you can see. But this shirt was very stiff, so I think I oversaturated it with the tie-dye paint. So I'm hoping that after it's gotten the vinegar and the salt in it to open up the fibers, that it will it'll rinse out and not be so stiff. It's already, now that I'm rinsing it, I think that's what happened, is I just oversaturated this shirt because it was quite soaked. So I think that you can't over soak it because otherwise it'll just be a very stiff shirt and you're going to need fabric softener to unstiffen it. So let me wash this one out. I think this is actually going to be really cool now that I'm seeing it. I don't know if you can tell, but it's got like this sunburst pattern, which I think looks pretty cool. So yeah, let me rinse this one out, soak it in vinegar, and get this one in the washer and the dryer. And I'll get back to you. So guys, I don't know if you can tell, but this one is turning out to be my favorite shirt ever. I think I oversaturated the paint. I hated this shirt originally, but now that it's washed out, I like it much better. I think I overused the paint because the fibers of the shirt can only soak up so much paint, so the rest is just going to wash out. But I wanted to show you, if you can see this part, this is a mixed shirt I wanted to do just for example, so I can show you. This is the acrylic paint, and then you can see the difference. This is the tie-dye. So there's the acrylic, and there's the acrylic again. You can see I probably used a little bit too much paint because it made a something, but it is still pretty soft, so I didn't get any stiffness. And this one was extremely stiff. That's another acrylic, and you can see this part is the tie-dye. So you get a lot more color payoff from the acrylic paint. And if you are worried about making it stiff, don't worry, because once you soak it in the vinegar, it works as a fabric softener to go ahead and do that. And as you can see, this is acrylic, that's acrylic, and that is the tie-dye, and the background is also tie-dye. So you see you get a lot more color payoff if you use a quality acrylic. So there's that. I'm going to go ahead and finish this one, but don't use too much paint. That's my rule. Don't oversaturate it because you're just going to waste it and throw it out anyways. It'll just rinse out because your shirt can only hold so much fiber. The fibers, I mean, can only hold so much. So while I keep rambling and of how much I really like this shirt, let me finish it off. I'm going to soak it in the vinegar solution and finish off my shirts, and I'll be right back. So I just wanted to show you guys, this is the shirt that I did with the 100% acrylic paint, and it turned out like a corally pink color. But I just wanted to show you, I'm doing it in my sink so that you can see what it looks like. There's absolutely no color coming off, and with the tie-dye you get a lot of color release. But when this dries, there is no color. I just started washing it, and there's literally like no color coming off. As you can see, this is the color from the other shirt, but there's none. So I'm a little bit worried about some of these spots right here that are a little hard. I don't know if they're going to soften up. Maybe I did a little bit too much paint to water ratio, if that's the case. But if you're looking into doing your tie-dye, which has nothing to do with this kit, but as an experiment, the acrylic paint does not have any color wash off in this case. So I'll let you know how it is after I soak it in the vinegar and salt solution, and then I wash it with the vinegar and salt and dry it, and we'll see if these parts are still hard or not, or what the color payoff comes out as. But I just wanted to show you that nothing is coming out. So I'm gonna get this in the dryer and I'll show you guys what they all look like when they're all done. But I think that this acrylic paint is an awesome idea. And acrylic paint is a lot cheaper if you don't use the expensive ones in the tubes, which I did use some ones in the tubes, but anyway, this looks coral. So I'll let you guys see them all when they're done. Be right back. So you guys, a lot of the red tie-dye is also washing out too. So I don't know why the tie-dye washes out more. I think the difference is that when acrylic dries, it's like stuck, but a lot of the red is washing out too. So I think you get a better color stick, like how much color stays in the shirt when you get a acrylic rather than tie-dye. But, and you see what happens is the white parts are starting to turn into pink, which hopefully they will be white by the time I'm done, but I'm highly doubting it. So that's the only downside with doing white and one other color. But a lot of the red is washing out, so that, I don't know. I think that it's just the difference of acrylic paint dries and is permanent, and tie-dye, you have to do a process with it. That's my assumption for it to be. But before I make a huge mess over here, I'm gonna wash this out, and I promise I won't be back until the shirts are completely done and we'll see the final result. So here's another shirt that is done 100% in acrylic paint, and you can see there's absolutely no color coming off. So I think whatever color you put on is whatever color you get, and I don't think it washes out. And I don't know why tie-dye washes out, but the acrylic paint has a much better payoff, I think. So just an FYI. So this one actually came out really good, and I thought that these white bits were going to be pink because it was washing out pink. However, I think the dye that washes out, it doesn't bleed onto the colors of the shirt. So this one is super awesome.
It's blue.
And then here's the blue one. This one was done with the acrylic paint. And I think you get more color payoff with the acrylics than you do with the, you see, this didn't really wash out very much compared to how it lightened up in this one. And yes, this one also came out very nice. So let's, yes. Okay, that's enough, thank you. So we already saw that this one was also the tie-dye shirt. Okay, I know. Now this one was also the tie-dye shirt. And then this one was the acrylic paint, which I think it came out kind of nice. So this one actually came out really good, and I thought that these white bits were going to be pink because it was washing out pink. However, I think the dye that washes out, it doesn't bleed onto the colors of the shirt. So this one is super awesome.
It's blue.
And then here's the blue one. This one was done with the acrylic paint. And I think you get more color payoff with the acrylics than you do with the, you see, this didn't really wash out very much compared to how it lightened up in this one. And yes, this one also came out very nice. So let's, yes. Okay, that's enough, thank you. So we already saw that this one was also the tie-dye shirt. Okay, I know. Now this one was also the tie-dye shirt, and then this one was the acrylic paint, which I think it came out kind of nice. Now, final thoughts. I know this video is pretty long and I've been rambling for quite a while. Cat, get out of the picture. Anyways, this tie-dye kit by Jaquard. Do I recommend this kit? Definitely. Is it a mess? Yes. And I know this video was long, but I personally, I think after doing it, need more practice, but I prefer the acrylic paint look. I don't know how it's going to fade over time, but we'll see, and I'll keep you updated if something changes. But I definitely recommend this kit because it makes it easy to blend the colors. but I think I prefer acrylic paints just because you get more color payoff and you get a more variety of colors, and mixing these colors is very mess. If you want a green, you know, you got to mix 2 colors and it just makes a big mess. And with the acrylic paint, you can buy it already green and just mix that with the water. So that worked out good. I don't know if you really need the soda ash to do the acrylic paint, but that's something to look into. But yes, this tie-dye kit, would I buy it again? Maybe. Probably not if I'm going to do the acrylic paint. But if you're into tie-dye, definitely recommend this. This is a non-sponsored video, and my kid is super excited about making his own design and is very proud of himself. So I'm going to stop rambling and say goodbye for now. We're going to go wear our tie-dye shirts, and stay tuned because right after this, in this video, I'm going to insert all of the pictures of the shirts. So that way, I did it outside in the natural lighting with no editing so that you can see what it actually came out like. But anyways, stay tuned for the pictures, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.